Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Jai Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jai Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jai Radha Shama Sundaradha Shama Sundaradhi Prabhupada 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki Jam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Astottara Śrīmad, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj ki jai, Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Hari Bol. Hari. Microphone word. Hari Bol. Check the volume. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. It's too loud. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya Narang chaiva narottamam Deving saraswating vyasam Tato jayamudirayet Nastapreshu abhadreshu Nityang bhagavata sevaya Bhagavatuttama shloke Bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. You got to be careful. One wrong move, no sound. Haribo, Haribo. So reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 66, Paundraka, the false Vasudeva, text 7 and 8. That's 7? Śrī-śuka, katthanaṁ tad upākarṇya, pauṇḍrakasyālpa-medhasaḥ, ugrasena-ādayaḥ sabhyā, uccakair, jahasus tadā. Śukadeva Gosvāmī said, King Ugrasena and the other members of the assembly laughed loudly when they heard this vain boasting of unintelligent Paundraka. Text 8. Uvāca duttaṁ bhagavan parihasa katthanaṁ uccakair mudha chinnani yaishtvam evaṁ utkathase. Uvāca duttaṁ bhagavan parihasa katthanaṁ uccakair mudha chinnani yaishtvam evaṁ vikatase. Uvāca duttaṁ bhagavan uccakair mudha chinnani evaṁ katthase. Uvāca duttaṁ bhagavan parihasa katthanaṁ uccakair mudha chinnani. Mastaji. Uvāca said, Dutam to the messenger, Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord, Parihasa, joking, katthanaṁ, discussion, anu, after, uccakair, I will throw, mudha, O fool, chinani, the symbols, yai, about which, tvam, you, evam, in this way, vikathase, are boasting. Translation and purport by the followers of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The personality of Godhead, after enjoying the jokes of the assembly, told the messenger to relay a message to his master, "You fool, I will indeed let loose the weapons you boast of in this way." Purport. The Sanskrit word uccakair means I will hurl, throw, let loose, abandon, etc. Foolish Paundraka demanded that Lord Krishna give up his powerful weapons, such as the disc and the club. And here the Lord replies, uccakair mudha chinani. Yes, fool, I will indeed let loose these weapons when we meet on the battlefield. In Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srila Prabhupada nicely describes this scene as follows. When all the members of the royal assembly, including King Ugrasena, heard this message sent by Paundraka, they laughed very loudly for a considerable time. After enjoying the loud laughter of all the members of the assembly, Krishna replied to the messenger as follows, O messenger of Paundraka, you may carry my message to your master. He is a foolish rascal. I directly call him a rascal, and I refuse to follow his instructions. I shall never give up the symbols of Vasudeva, especially my disc. I shall use this disc to kill not only King Paundraka, but all his followers also. I shall destroy this Paundraka and his foolish associates, who merely constitute a society of cheaters and the cheated. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistang Stapitang Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. So, very fortunate to be here in Sri Vrindavan Dham, hearing Supreme Lord's pastimes. And Krishna is always exhibiting very wonderful and exciting pastimes. It's difficult for those who are atheistic or non-believers. They think that all these stories are just fabricated. And like children sometimes play together, they'll pick one among them to be their king and leader. And he thinks, yes, I am the king, I'm the leader. And the foolish children encourage and also support him. Just like Kamsa, all his followers were telling him how powerful and strong he is. All the demigods are afraid of you. Don't worry, you can do. You're the supreme controller. You're in charge. And what to speak of Hiranyakashipu, when challenged by Prahlad Maharaj, he was indignant, feeling how you can consider someone else a supreme lord. I'm the supreme lord. I'm the enjoyer. So in the history, many people want to take the position of God without the qualities. This is why Arjuna asked Krishna, you show me your universal form. And Krishna obliged because he also wanted to establish what are the qualities of God. Sadhu Shastra Guru, that God is spoken of in the Shastras, when he would appear, who his mother and father are. And so Krishna, appearing at the end of this Dwarka or Dwapara Yuga, in Dwarka, the Dwapara Yuga, and also in a different millennium, 27th, it's a whole calibrated time. The Lord has eternal pastimes from universe to universe. There's unlimited living entities. As many atoms as there are in the universe is described as that many living entities. And out of thousands and thousands of living entities, only rarely does one get a human form of life. And in the human form of life, those who are, not happy with this material world, like looking for water in the desert, looking for happiness in this dry desert of material existence, there's some reflection, there's some allurement for happiness, but there's no happiness here in this material world. Because ultimately the time passes so quickly. Before you know it, what happened to my youth? I could run up that mountain or up those stairs and down those stairs. Now you fall down the stairs and somebody has to carry you up the stairs. But just like the foolish animal in the desert thinking, no, soon I'll find water. Soon I'll find water. So soon we'll find happiness in this world. And everyone's make believe that there's something special, that, I want my name to be perpetuated, carried on. I want people to appreciate me and to worship me. Nadanang, najanang, nasundaring. Lord Chaitanya is praying, I don't want followers. I don't want to enjoy this material existence. I only want to become a servant of Krishna. So Krishna, out of his kindness for everyone, and each and every one of us have a relationship with Krishna. Yesterday we had a beautiful Vyasa Puja glorifying Krishna, enlightening Lord Brahma, the speaker of the Vedic literature, coming as Vyasadeva, and giving us the essence of all the Puranas and Itihasas and everything that people, or those who are yogis and transcendentalists, they're studying various literatures. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the Amala Purana, is the essence of all scripture and all teachings. And Krishna personally taught this to Brahma, to Narada, Vyasadeva, although incarnation of Krishna still took direction from Narada Muni in the Guru Parampara. And again, the Lord, out of great kindness, came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda empowered the 6 Goswāmīs of Vrindavan, speaking about this Braj Prem, also awakening our original constitutional identity as servants of the Lord. Even though we may not know the meaning of all the mantras or the bhakti process scientifically, simply by hearing about Krishna, by seeing the beauty of the deities and associating with devotees, this hearing and chanting is the most powerful bhakti process. And of all the millions of persons who are looking for happiness through self-realization, hardly one understands Krishna. So Krishna, out of kindness and having a personal relationship with each and every one of us, He's manifesting as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Prabhupada, he describes that even after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave his teachings to the 6 Goswāmīs, there are so many bogus sampradayas. He knows them all. The Bola, he names them very nicely, Prabhupada. He's being in, particularly in Bengal, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mission of spreading Krishna consciousness throughout the world. And there are so many persons who want to take the philosophy and twist it for their own purposes. Many Mayavadis, impersonalists, meaning that if God doesn't have a form or doesn't have a person, or in one sense doesn't exist, then we can do whatever we want. We don't have to follow any authority. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission of Sankirtan. And this Paundraka, he foolishly believed all his sentimental, childish followers that yes, I am God, and sends this ridiculous message to Krishna, give up your chakra and all your symbols of Godhead, Vasudeva. And everyone had a good laugh, we heard. And Krishna, he came and also cut off the head of this Paundraka, and also Kashiraj and his followers and all his soldiers. And we may think, Krishna being a loving personality, he was involved in a lot of cleaning up of thieves and rogues and demonic personalities, just like we see in the world now. I know when Prabhupada in the 70s was speaking how terrible everything was. It was always on the brink of war. People are always looking to dominate one another and who'll be in control, who'll be the supreme person. So even today, as all of history, there's always demonic personalities, so much so that Mother Earth prayed and Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, all the demigods came to the Lord, please you come and free the earth of this burden of demonic persons. So Krishna comes, he performs wonderful pastimes, beautiful pastimes, to attract us back home, back to the spiritual world. We don't know the details of how Krishna appeared in Mathura, was taken to Braj, and Nanda Yashoda, and all the Gopas and Gopis were privileged to serve and love Krishna. They say that Krishna, he comes with his abode. So this Vrindavan, this Boma Vrindavan, has come from the spiritual world, and one who has transcendental vision, one who is practicing this bhakti, this hearing and chanting of Krishna's holy names, and eager to understand what is the mood of the gopis, what is the mood of the residents, the Brijabasis, who are spontaneously serving Krishna, loving Krishna. And Krishna performed very unique and attractive pastimes with all the cowherd boys and cowherd girls. And these are the pastimes which are attractive to the common people in this world. All the literatures, all the poems and books are about men and women wanting to enjoy their relationship in this world. So it's a reflection. It's a reflection of the spiritual world. But it's on a mundane platform, it simply entangles one and further perpetuates the suffering. But when we see that Krishna performs these loving pastimes with his devotees, and how how happy and how excited the devotees are to serve and engage in pastimes with Krishna, it's very attractive. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared for that purpose. That love that Srimati Radharani and all the different residents of Vrindavan have for Krishna is undescribable in words. So being Krishna that in his blackish form and being in the mood of Srimati Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the golden avatar, Gauranga, appeared. And although Balaram is his first expansion, Balaram is also in the mood of service to Krishna. Srimati Radharani is also expansion of Krishna. She's in the mood of serving Krishna, how to love Krishna. And the Sakis and the Manjaris, they're all expansions of Srimati Radharani. And they take great pleasure, not that they're looking to enjoy Krishna separately, but by making tasteful arrangements for Krishna to display his loving pastimes with Srimati Radharani. It's like Srimati Radharani is like the vine, and the leaves and flowers are the manjaris, and the servants, Gopi, Bharatu, Padakamala, Das, 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 Anudas. We're all trying to become servant of the servant of the servant. And all together, the flowers and the leaves, they enjoy even more. It says, it's multiplied. It's difficult to understand devotional service, but by this process of bhakti, Krishna will reveal it within the heart. This premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena, that Krishna, he gives us the vision to see him and to actually have a loving exchange. It's not that all these stories of the different bhaktas and devotees who have Dhruva Maharaj performed great austerities. He had the darshan of the Lord personally. Prahlad Maharaj, and what to speak of the Pandavas, Queen Kunti. Although these are eternal associates of the Lord, that's always been a little difficult. Nitya Siddha, Nitya Baddha. Those who are conditioned in the material world are considered Nitya Baddha, conditioned, and almost eternally conditioned, because once you come to the material world, that means that one is a rascal, sinful. It says even Lord Brahma, every living entity who comes to the material world somehow left Krishna in the spiritual world. Of course, as residents of the spiritual world, Krishna comes and he sends his associates for the purpose of bringing back the conditioned souls, back to the spiritual world. And one who is fortunate enough to have the association of a pure devotee, of resident of Braj, in our case, Srila Prabhupada, living in Vrindavan, at Radha Damodar, taking shelter of Rupa and Jiva Gosvāmī, and praying to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati that all your sannyasis and devotees, disciples are serving you nicely. I'm a grihasta. I am just wanting to help. What can I do to also help you in this mission of Krishna consciousness? Just before Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati left this world, he instructed Srila Prabhupada, you take this message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and you spread it to the whole world. Priti viteyacha yadanagara sarvatra prachara hoibe moranam. Lord Chaitanya wanted, and he sent Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati on the prayers of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And Srila Prabhupada appeared and performed his pastime, Leela, to show us that how, while living in this world, one can always be focused on the message of his Guru Maharaj. He said, I should have taken up the message of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta in my first meeting, 1922, but it took me even 10 years for the initiation. But Prabhupada was just being very humble and modest. I never forgot the order of my spiritual master. I've always thought how to do it, how to execute it. And so it all unfolded. Even when Prabhupada arrived in Boston and New York and was struggling, always visiting the India steamship company, checking their schedule. When's the next ship back to Braj? This place is too much for me. I can't take it. This is, and this is the greatest city in the world, New York, and it's like a slum, drunkards and meat eaters and intoxication and illicit sex and gambling. It was full blooming Kali Yuga. This Paundraka was, imitation God. We had so many imitation gods, people who are thinking themselves to be worshipable, and foolish worshippers blindly worshiping them as if they are God or Jagat Guru. But the real Jagat Guru, Srila Prabhupada, took the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and, empowered by his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he had the power. He was praying, make my words suitable for their understanding. I am a lowly, useless, humble servant. And although Prabhupada says, I'm not a scholar, I'm not, not very qualified, but I've taken shelter of my spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and I've only repeated the words of Krishna. He said, this is the qualification for becoming a guru, to understand the science of Krishna consciousness. And how we could understand the science unless we hear from the lips of the pure devotee. So every day we're hearing the Bhagavatam. And Srila Prabhupada made such a beautiful program so that we can become freed from our false ego, freed from our attachments and temporary dreams of happiness in this world with family, friends, society, love, and peace. It's all fear. People are fearful of dying because we're on the bodily platform. Devotee becomes abhay, fearless, because he recognized, I'm an eternal servant of Krishna. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. So if we can use our time and our energy for cultivating our Krishna consciousness, this is to our eternal benefit. Help the world. So Srila Prabhupada made this beautiful Krishna consciousness society. When he first, he started with the League of Devotees, he had the idea, how can I make a society where everyone can join that society and be guided and instructed on how to very nicely practice this bhakti yoga, this sadhana bhakti. Not speculation or in this person's opinion or that person's opinion. Prabhupada says, I have no opinion. I only repeat scripture. I only repeat the words of the pure devotee. So this Bhagavad Gita, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, nectar of devotion, nectar of instruction, Krishna book, all these Vaishnava literatures. There are many Vaishnava literatures, but Srila Prabhupada has given us enough in the thousands and thousands of lectures and morning walks and going to festival after festival. I was following Srila Prabhupada, and you could see it's just exhausting traveling and then lecturing and doing one program after another program, going to Kumbh Mela and following, teaching the devotees how to worship, how to perform the Vyasa Puja, how to perform a fire sacrifice, how to get married in Krishna consciousness, how to initiate, and how to mold our lives in such a way that we don't waste this very valuable opportunity in mundane association. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, together with Ramananda Roy, he was asking, what is the perfection of life? To hear and chant about the loving pastimes of Radha and Krishna. And what is most painful? To lose the association of devotees. And, how one should advance in Krishna consciousness. Asatsanga tyaga vaishnavachar. Avoid the association of those who are simply critical, finding fault, and actually atheistic, We want to keep the association of the Hamsa, the Paramahamsa, the swan-like devotees, not the crow mentality, picking at the garbage. We can see any time, especially now with the modern invention of internet, that we can immediately find out all the faults of everyone all over the world very quickly, within moments. It's very difficult to get free of that. Who is that? Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. He never wanted to hear the criticism of another devotee. He was run away from that criticism. And to find fault is an easy way to actually open your door to the hellish conditions of life. So in our own lives, we should see how we are working together and how we are treating one another. You ever get mad? Sometimes people irritate you and you scream at them and you think later, oh, maybe I should have been more tolerant, I shouldn't have spoken that way. Or catch ourselves in not treating Vaishnavas in the best way possible. So I'm still learning. I'm sure we all have to learn. How can we please the Vaishnavas, the devotees? How can we not make Krishna consciousness attractive? The reason why we chant is to give pleasure to Krishna. It's not just simply for the entertainment of the audience, but if we can be enthusiastic, chant and dance for Krishna's pleasure, Krishna's participating. He's not impersonal. Krishna's here in Braj. Krishna's right here. Krishna Balaram are there on the altar. Gaura-Nitai, Radha-Shyama Sundar. It's not that they're just made of marble or some beautiful dolls. Krishna's present within every atom. But where devotees are worshiping and chanting His glories, He's happily manifesting Himself. So we should take this opportunity while in Braj to hear more about Krishna, to chant His holy name, and to participate in all the wonderful festivals that Krishna... India's full of festivals. I don't know, in the West it's kind of dry. You might have a Valentine's Day or Christmas or Easter. But here, if you look at the calendar, it's packed with festivals, glorifying Guru, glorifying Govardhan, Janmastami, Radhastami, Balaram's appearance day, so many wonderful Acharya's appearances. And if one is excited, if you have you want to become excited about music or dance, you put your heart into it, or even philosophy, you study. So the more we become excited for Krishna consciousness, the more we want to hear systematically Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Okay, let me start from the very beginning. Janmādyasya yatom vayaditaratasya teshu abhigyaswarat. And then progressively every day, hear it. Nityang Bhagavata Sevaya. Because this is the only purpose of life, is to hear about Krishna, to hear about the spiritual world, the activities of love and the exchanges the devotees have with Krishna. What is my relationship with Krishna? And not that we are so curious that we, wander off and try to imagine ourselves as a gopi or something, but everything is revealed. Krishna will reveal Himself. Even Teshang Satate Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvikam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yenamam Upayantute. To those who are constantly devoted and worship Me with love, I give the understanding how you can come to Me. So this is good. Krishna is directing us. If we want that, if we want to be directed by Krishna, He's giving us intelligence. We may think, well, that's my own mind or my own intelligence, my own ability, that, I know how to mold my life in such a way. When someone asks, how can you tell who is a Vaishnava? What did Prabhupada say? He's a perfect gentleman. And meaning that we know what is right and what is wrong. And we try to apply the 26 qualities in our own life. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavat yakinchana sarva gunais tatra samasate sura. that the beautiful qualities, godly qualities, even of the demigods, become manifest in one automatically who's following this process of bhakti. And that a beautiful verse, aho bhata shvapachato gariyan ya javagreya, that one who is chanting the Lord's holy name, he's performed all sacrifices, all yagyas, all religious duties, and he immediately comes to the highest platform. You may think, how is that? He's such a new person. How he's already performed so many of the austerities and prerequisites for devotional service. Yes, this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. We don't know who anyone is, who and what we were doing in our last life. Obviously, a devotee is always very meek and humble. He's tatikshiva karunika suhrida sarvadehanam. He's very tolerant, very merciful. But Lord Chaitanya is teaching us to become humbler than the blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige. We all have some false prestige, thinking that we're good at something, or, oh, look at me, I can do this so nicely. And ready to offer all respects to others. This is the prerequisite, to constantly chant the holy name. And even though a Jamil, when the story was being read, one devotee said that a Jamil called out, Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. Prabhupada said, I said, like that 3 times? Well, once is enough. Just call out the name of the Lord. But then we think, well, why is it that from the morning of the rising of the sun to the setting, we're chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare? One time is enough. Yes, it is enough. But by this practice of chanting and by trying to hear the mantra in a prayer, in a mood of prayer, then that relationship thickens, that we're calling Krishna. We're chanting for the purpose of pleasing Krishna and awakening that long-lost relationship. So although the power for liberation is there in the holy name, one utterance of the holy name, but still it becomes multiply sweeter and sweeter. I think Rupa Goswāmī said, if I had millions of ears and millions of tongues, I could chant the holy name and I can hear. And the gopis were criticizing Lord Brahma. Why is it I have to blink my eyes? I lose the sight of Krishna. You're not a perfect creator. They were even praising Lord Indra. He had thousands of eyes. He could see Krishna more. Let all our senses become eyes so we can see Krishna even more. It's very deep, but the gopis are extremely fanatically in love with Krishna. They don't want to, they can't even imagine, even if Krishna for a moment is out of their sight, they become mad. But then Krishna, in his vilas, in his mood of separation, intensifies that love. Sometimes Krishna, even though he's with the gopis and he's having intimate pastime, sometimes he disappears and the gopis become even more mad. They start enacting his pastimes and they start thinking even more deeply. We can't just see it on a mundane platform. That kind of experience is very elevated, but this mood of separation is the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was feeling that same mood in Jagannath Puri, that loving mood. But this Sankirtan mission, those who are going on book distribution, whatever service we're doing, the deities are being dressed beautifully, the cooking is going on, everyone is taking nice prasad, and books are being printed. Prabhupada was whipping everyone. Why we're falling behind on this on the books production? Why? And especially during marathon time, when the marathon was going on, at one point, Hridayananda told him that South America was beating Tamal Krishna Maharaj, and Prabhupada, with a big smile, was saying, "Tamal, you hear this is happening," and in a transcendental competition was going on. And what was the competition? To print more books, to distribute more books, because these are transcendental bombs. These are being planted like the materialists. They plant pagers and different walkie-talkies and make them blow up and kill people and just cause destruction. Whereas these transcendental literatures will be the only shelter for all of the suffering humanity. And there's no doubt people are suffering. And the suffering's increasing more and more. As Kali Yuga progresses, it becomes intolerable. They're killing and burning each other alive. And it's because of the bodily platform of life. It is the very beginning of Krishna consciousness. Dehinosmin yatha dehe komarang yovanam jara tatā dehantara praptir dhiras tatra namuyati. Those who are dhira, who are fixed, they understand that from boyhood to youth to old age, the body's constantly changing, but we, the eternal soul, remain the same. And our duty is to serve Krishna. And how do we serve Krishna? Not directly, but by serving his devotee. And Srila Prabhupada is our father, our grandfather, become the great-grandfather. He's the Acharya who is representing the Guru Parampara, the Acharya, disciplic succession. This is the proof of success. If you have a very ripe fruit on the top of the tree and you throw it down, it just smashes, and you can't even recognize it as the fruit that you thought was going to be so nice. But if it's handed down carefully, when that fruit arrives, then you get the full purport, the full meaning. So we're not concocting or speculating or imagining someone as God or someone as our leader. The genuine guru, he manifests the proper qualities. And Srila Prabhupada, without doubt, with all his traveling around the world, initiating, answering letters, and very patiently guiding us in our spiritual lives. This is how fortunate we all are, and we should not waste our time on fighting over temporary bodily identification. We have to stay strict. I was saying yesterday, we should not start cutting corners. We all have our little corner cutting ideas that, I've already done all these things so many times, I can make my own little process of devotional service. But this family, like in the material world, family is everything. My wife, my children, my mother, my father, my relatives, the community, our nationality. This is everything. People, they put their whole endeavor behind all this. So this is our Krishna conscious family. And this is everything. Because these are our brothers and sisters who all have the same mentality that I want to become free from my anarthas. I have enough faith that I'll keep the association of devotees. And by association with devotees and by hearing and chanting, the anarthas go away and we awaken the feeling of spiritual life. So this is important, and this is a wonderful pastime. The Lord performed these pastimes. The 10th canto, you get how many? 9 cantos of philosophy. Of course, other leelas are there, but 10th canto is saturated with Krishna's appearance, childhood pastimes. Now we're experiencing Damodar Leela every evening. And then Krishna, he sets out to fulfill his mission of killing Kamsa, the elephant Kulavapida, and the wrestlers, and so many other disturbing forces for Bhumi, who's also an associate of the Lord. This Paundraka thought that, Balaram went to Nanda Braj, he went to visit, so now Krishna will be alone. It shouldn't be too hard to challenge him. Because materialists and atheists think that Krishna is just an ordinary person. Maybe he became popular because all his people are also glorifying him. But the reality of Krishna consciousness becomes manifest through the pages of Srila Prabhupada's books and by following Prabhupada's orders of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We may not have a taste, but that taste develops. And just have enough faith that I will follow Prabhupada and always stay in the association of devotees despite the difficulties we sometimes have to undergo. So, Srila Prabhupada ki. So we have a few minutes. If any comments, questions, corrections. Sankirtan Prabhu.
You're mentioning Bhagavan and the expansion of Krishna. So how about the expansion of Krishna of a completely separate personality?
How the expansion of Krishna?
How can be an expansion of a completely different person? But Krishna, how they can have a separate personality?
Achintya Shakti. You see, Krishna, he's everything. He's the Lord of everything. So he's also Balaram, but he's in a different mood. And that different mood is one of service. He is also Srimati Radharani. But then that other Shakti comes in play. And then all the different Vishnus, or all the different incarnations and expansions are also Krishna in a different mood to reciprocate with each and every devotee who's also Krishna. Everyone's a little Krishna, everyone's a part of Krishna, but they have their individuality. You may think, well, the drop of the ocean is the ocean. It's not the ocean, but it has the same qualities as the ocean. But this is Krishna's Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. He has a Chintya Shakti. That means it's inconceivable how it is he can expand himself, being God himself, but being a different individual. I guess words can't give it justice. It's very difficult to explain it in words and modern vocabulary. But somehow we know that we are an eternal spiritual part, and Krishna has other, like the Vishnu Shaktis, or the other incarnations of the Lord are maybe showing more power, more light. Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, the demigods. There's different degradations of living entities, but all are Krishna, separate, but all servants of Krishna too.
You can enjoy this thing by himself, but expands into it unlimitedly, expands from himself an infinite number of Krishna Chakra, everything, all these subjects that you taste, all these unlimitedly variety of verses that taste.
This is the variety is a spice in life. So Krishna has, just like if you see colors or flowers or fruits, Krishna is so creative and so colorful. So every desire, every inclination of every living entity is reciprocated with Krishna in a personable way. In order to fulfill that, Krishna appears in multitude of incarnations. And we may think, well, if everything is the reservoir of Krishna will be satisfied, why not just serve Krishna? Why worry about serving all the other incarnations or other gods? Because we all have different inclinations. Some worship the demigods for the purpose of wealth and gratification and enjoyment of this world, because that's where their mind or their set is. So there's full variety, and this is the spice in life. Krishna is providing everything.
Jai.
Jai. Any other questions, comments?
Just a comment. Every impersonalist is a person, so there's personhood everywhere. And every person that propounds an impersonal philosophy is different from every other impersonalist.
Every impersonalist is a person, and everyone has a different philosophy. Yeah, there's a whole multitude. Maharaj, you have something? Hold on, microphone's there.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for enlightening class. I wanted to ask that
if Paundraka thinks that he's God, then why he's afraid of Balaram? Why he waited for Balaram to go away?
Well, he also, they understand Balaram's the older brother, so that he might. This is why they're always on the mundane platform. They're not really. He thinks himself God, but he doesn't know the magnitude of God. Apparently, that he should not be afraid. I think there was another time too that which other demon was considering. Oh yeah, that Krishna might be powerful, so. Pralambasura?
Dhenukasura.
Didn't Pralambasura take Balaram on his back and snuck away I'll just take Balaram alone, you know, because demonic persons think that of God in the same way. Now maybe he's a little more, maybe he's twice as strong as me, or, you know, like frog mentality. They don't understand the magnitude and how powerful the Lord is. So we learn that by bhakti yoga. Any other comments, questions? So let us chant. Oh, yes.
I have one more question.
One more question.
So we hear the Leela of Keshi demon, and I heard the Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that Keshi represents the anartha that, you know, I'm a great devotee. You know, everyone should worship me. And can you kindly, you know, make a connection between that mentality and Paundraka's mentality?
Yes, Paundraka, he was the epitome of wanting to be worshipped and, you know, accepting that, yes, I am, what does it say in Bhagavad Gita? Ishvaraham, aham bhogi, siddhavaham balavan sukhi. That I am perfect, I'm powerful, I am happy, I'll destroy all my enemies, no one is as great as me. And that whole mentality is a demonic mentality described in Bhagavad Gita, and everyone's thinking themselves, number one, you know, most powerful, let me be the leader, the king, the president, the emperor, let me be God, ultimately. Everyone's thinking this mentality that let me be the enjoyer. This is Ishvara mentality. I want to be the enjoyer. But there's no enjoyment here. You become an enjoyer by serving Krishna, by associating with those who are serving Krishna. And then the Keshi demon, all the doubts, all the demonic qualities will be easily dissolved. Like as the sun arises, all the fog and all the darkness dissipates, and the brightness of our true identity manifests itself through the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki